with exercise, we'll do the whole class. All right, so let's just get started by finding our alignment in a seated posture. So I even like to use my hands and kind of sit my sit bones back. So you give that a try where you lift yourself and then sit your sit bones back. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, feel down into your sit bones, your feet, anything touching the ground, and just let your body kind of settle. And then as you inhale, feel the back of the neck all the way into the head and let that lift. So you're just kind of pulling yourself apart, grounding and yet lifting. Take a gentle opening of the heart, soften the face, and then if your hip flexors feel tight, I just want you to think about that. Take a breath. And as you exhale, see if you can let your hip flexors just kind of relax. And then hands can be anywhere you want. If you're comfortable, I'm going to put one on the top of my chest and my heart, and then one on my belly, low down below the belly button to remind my body that I can breathe that deeply. And so take this first breath or two, and I just want you to allow your hands to be felt. So feel the way that your belly moves, and trust that that will naturally calm you if you breathe into the lower hand. And then feel the warmth of the upper hand, your chest, or wherever your hands are touching. And just one more breath to settle in. And then in your mind, I simply want you to think about something that you are thankful for in this moment. It could be the fact that you woke up. It could be a loved one, a pet, or something in nature from today that you're just grateful for. The sun, the blooms. Just hold it in your mind for about 2 more breaths now. And then thinking about your intention. If you lived this day a second time, what would you do differently? What would you want to cultivate? And is there an intention that you want to focus on for the rest of your class? Take a moment and just let those questions be answered or just float so that you can receive the answer later as it rises up. And then letting go of that mental effort. We're just going to focus on the breath now. So as you inhale, I want you to inhale for a count of 4. So try to breathe in and fill your lungs. And then pause, and you can hold it for 4. And then as you exhale, I want you to empty out on a count of 4. And then empty, I want you to hold it for a count of 4. So this naturally calms you. If you ever find yourself anxious, come to this box breathing where you inhale for 4. You hold for 4. And then you exhale for 4. And hold for 4. So try about 2 more, just trusting that you're quieting your mind and you're teaching your nervous system how to relax. And then take 2 more breaths. I want you to let go of effort. Just kind of be with yourself. What do you feel? Is there anything you already notice you're carrying into this moment? And what needs cared for physically, emotionally, and just allow yourself to use that as information to lead your class. And then you can gently let that go. And we're going to start with what's called angel breath in your movement. So when you're ready, you can open your eyes and just take your hands, thumbs are back, and you just kind of put them on your shoulders. So you'll feel your shoulder muscles here. And you're just going to take your elbows a little bit back so they're in line with the shoulders, not too far behind. Yeah, that's great. And then think again about the lift of the head. So that's going to make the back of your neck long. Inhale. As you exhale, you bring the elbows forward and onto touch, so you're just stretching the back of the shoulder. And then you inhale and now you go up. You're stretching your side waist, opening the ribs, and then you exhale down. Inhale, open. So that is the set that we're going to do. So breathe in, exhale forward, inhale up, exhale down, inhale, open. So go with your body. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale open. This is just great for shoulder mobility, kind of warming up your spine. It might not be your cup of tea if you've not done it much. You know, there's a lot to think about. But I want you to just let your body get the opening. Inhale. Exhale down. Inhale. We'll do one more. Inhale. Exhale. And then open. So great job. Place one hand down. Inhale, reach the other one up. Shoulders back. And then exhale, you're going to side bend towards your grounding hand. And then think about your hip away from your hand, so that second side, and once you just ground both sides of your hips. Yeah. And then you can learn about your body. If it feels good, you could try to lift the elbow and the eyes up. And drop the shoulders back. So that just kind of brings it into the upper side of your chest as well. And then take 2 more breaths, and as you exhale, just empty out and see if you can kind of melt your lower waist, ground your hip, and extend your upper waist. And then breathe. One more breath. And then inhale, rise it up. And second side, just let the other arm lift, other arm ground, shoulders back, and as you breathe out, kind of sink into it. And then think about your second hip, see if you can ground that. And maybe you want to play with the eye gaze, the elbow up. And now on this side, I simply want you to think about melting. So as you breathe, on your exhale, what could you relax that doesn't have to be tight or gripping or kind of forceful against the pose? Just see if you can let yourself be. And then grateful that your body did that. Inhale, reach it up. All right, we're coming to downward dog. So hands will go to the mat, and you'll turn towards your hands, tuck your toes, and then walk it back. And then take a cleansing breath and just let yourself exhale. Now, if this is too much to start, drop your knees down. Find child's pose or puppy pose. And for the first few moments, I want to give you permission to play. So bend a knee, extend the opposite heel. That will stretch your calf. And then you can kind of bend back and forth. One knee bends, other heel stretches. Or you could turn your head and your heart side to side. What would feel really nice for your body? Scan your body one more time and see if there's anything you want to do before it becomes steady. And then find yourself in a steady position. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, stay, but soften the knees a bit. See if your tailbone can kind of rise out of your body and up. Yes, that's it. Inhale. Exhale, see if your heart could soften a bit, letting the shoulder blades come towards each other behind your neck and your heart spread wide. Look great. And then think about your hands and simply see if you can spread each finger. And lastly, see if you can relax your neck. And take one breath, just comforting yourself in this pose, wherever you need it. Gently bend the knees, eyes to the hands, and you can walk or hop to the head of your mat. And then find yourself in your first forward fold. And you can shake it out, yes and no, roll the shoulders, move the hips, what would feel really great. And now bend your knees a lot, stay in this pose, but we're going to practice breathing. So inhale, see if you can kind of loosen the body simply by breathing the belly wide. And then as you exhale, see if you can sink deeper, head down, hips up. So try that one more time, just using your breath to explore the pose. Bend the knees, lift the eyes to get your blood flow going, and inhale, rise it up. You can press down and then lift. And exhale again, so we're going to come down to center. So we'll find our first mountain pose. So take a moment to reposition your feet. So you feel like you're centering your knees in line with the middle of your toes. Nice deep breath in. As you exhale, feel into the feet. So you can close your eyes if you feel comfortable. And I want you to feel about the pressure on the outer edge of your feet. And then try to match that pressure with the ball of the big toe. And even the inside of your heel. So what you did is you lifted your arch, you opened your ankle. Now soften your knees just to allow your spinal fluid, your blood flow all to circulate. Nice deep breath in. Think about your tailbone, and as you exhale, allow it to drop down towards the ground. So that's a little bit of your low belly pulling up. See if you can hold that at the same time, try to open your hip points. So that's not anything that you're going to see, I wouldn't be able to notice, but you'll feel if your low belly kind of engages side to side. And then the back of the neck again. Inhale, see if you can breathe up through the crown of the head. your chest and simply exhale the shoulders back. Let your collarbones smile up. And where do you want your hands? Where may be beneficial? Maybe palms open today. Maybe one on the belly and heart again. Maybe prayer, lotus. And I want you to take 2 breaths. What is it that you need from your practice? What brought you here? And what is your body longing for? And then on this next one, simply inhale and breathe in this new focus and intention. And then breathe out, let go of anything that's no longer serving you. So one more time like that. Inhale, set your mind on this new focus. Exhale, let go of whatever you like. And then when you're ready, eyes open, inhale, rise it up. So reach in a way that feels good, stretch your body. And then exhale, bend your knees, dive it down. Hands to shins or under the toes, and inhale, flat back, extend, screw up. And then exhale, let yourself fold. Bend your knees, hook your right leg back for this first low lunge. So take the time you need to move your left foot forward until it's in the ankles in front of the knee or right underneath your knee. So that'll protect your joint. And just like mountain, can you push into the outer edge of your foot, the big toe, the inner heel, feel your ankle open. And take your shoulder blades, connect them behind you just a bit. I want you to feel your heart open. Now lengthen head to back heel, so almost engage that back kneecap to get your heel far away. And then remember your intention. What would it be like if you held it in your muscle here? And then if you want, left arm, inhale, we'll reach it up, add a twist. Exhale, roll the shoulders back. And just take one moment of mindful alignment. Can you line up your knees with the midline of your toes? So you might feel like you're engaging the outer thighs onto the sides. And then inhale, exhale, hand comes down. Bend your knees, step back to your downward dog, child's pose or puppy pose, whatever your body wants in this moment. Strengthen your hands, soften your knees, and take a deep breath to relax your neck. And take one more comforting breath. Does something feel a little bit tense, and can you comfort it with a simple inhale and exhale? Now if you want to flow through plank, feel your strong hands first. And inhale forward, shoulders over wrists. Remember, everything is optional. Let your body decide. You could be kneeling or lifted. And then exhale and slowly lower the whole way down this first time. Toes point, tuck your chin. See if your tailbone can go towards your heels. So it's just like what you did in mountain pose. You feel your belly lift. Now inhale, lift your heart to baby cobra. So feel all of your back muscles help. Yes. Exhale, let yourself relax. Now 2 more times. Inhale, lift to baby cobra. See if you can take the tailbone and crown of the head farther away from each other. Exhale, lay it down. 1 more time. Try that again. Feel your strength. Feel the energy you're building. And exhale, let it go. Tuck the toes and push and pull back. What do you need in this moment? Do you want to flow through everything? A little child, a little puppy pose, a little downward dog. And then take 3 cleansing breaths. Could you relax your neck, your face? Just find one more place to relax. And then gently, when you're ready, bend the knees and step the right leg forward. So take your time. You can always use your hand to walk your foot forward as well. And then find that place where your ankle is in front of your right knee or right underneath it. And then really press into the outer edge and the big toe. And how much length can you create? Head to back heel. Feel the energy you made just by thinking about it. Take 1 breath to remind yourself of your intention and invite it in. And then with that spirit, your right arm inhale, reach it up. Exhale, the shoulders move back to open the front of your heart. And then your knees, can you line them up with your toes again? Engage your outer thighs. Yes. 1 more deep breath, you've got it. And exhale, hands come down, bend your knees, step forward. And this time you can bend your elbows and hug them. And let it all go. Let gravity help you decompress. Let your knees be soft. Then 2 more breaths. Try that practice you began with, where you inhale, you feel yourself loosen and expand, and you exhale and you slide and relax deeper. And then let your arms go if you have them, bend your knees, lift your eyes, and inhale, rise it up. And again, let it feel good. If you do want to back bend, you bend your knees, and then take the tailbone back to open the heart. And that gets the vertebrae completely going together. Yeah. And then exhale, hands out the heart center. All right, so you can kind of roll it out if you ever need. That's a good practice in between. And then find your feet again. So line up the knees, toes, hips, shoulders, they all face front. Nice deep breath in. Exhale into your feet, so just feel yourself ground. You can soften the eyes again. Soften your knees. And then try to elongate your head and tail. And if you've not done this, you'll see me touch my tailbone and the back of my head a lot. You can practice that. If you touch it, it's a little bit of a biofeedback that helps you kind of lift and expand your core. So just give it a try. See if you can separate those 2 points. And at the same time, open your heart and your front hips. And then hands back to wherever you like. And take 1 more breath. What do you need? Draw it in. Anything you want to let go of, let it out. And then when you're ready, inhale, rise up. And can you remember your intention? Bring it in, reach as if you have it. And then exhale, dive with it, whether it's strength, grace. Hands to shins or under the toes, and inhale, flat back, extend. Exhale, let it go. Bend your knees and step your left leg back this time. So find your front heel. So it really matters when our body weight is in it, and we're gonna rise up, which will be great. So press into the outer edge, the big toe, find your grounding. Now feel all of your 5 back toes and really grip on. If you wanna try a high lunge, it's kind of hard to do it right from the ground. I want you to give it a try. So you can soften your hands, kind of lift your fingers. Maybe you wanna go slow, and then just 2 breaths. We'll inhale, rise it up. Soft knees, try to line up knees and toes. Yep, take 1 more breath, expand, open the front hip. And then exhale, draw it down. You did awesome. Bend your knees, step back to your downward dog, child's pose, or anywhere in between. And then really soften your knees and try to lift the tail out of the body. Yeah, that's it. You can also think about swirling your armpits outward, and that'll get your back feeling flat. And then take 1 more breath to comfort, to cleanse, to renew. And with strong hands, if you like the flow through plank, we'll inhale forward again. So give yourself grace if you don't want it at this moment. And then exhale, slowly lower halfway or all the way. And inhale up. You could do up dog or baby quickly this time. And then pause, see if you can open your chest, try to lengthen head to tail, and take 1 more breath, yes. Celebrate your body here. And exhale back. You did awesome. And then 2 cleansing breaths. Could you soften your knees? Could you open your heart? Could you relax your neck? Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees. Step your left leg forward. And take as much time as you need to kind of line up your knee, your ankle, in that straight position. So really bring your heel a little bit more forward so you can ground it. You can use your hand to kind of walk it forward. And now protect your joint. And now think about the toes. Can you grip all 10 down and just mindfully feel your movement? And then when you're ready, if you like, slow and steady fingers first. And inhale, rise it up. Line up the knees and then breathe into that right hip that's open wide. Yes, you've got it. Inhale and exhale, hands down. Bend your knees, step forward, and let yourself fall. This time you could bend your knees a lot and hug behind them. And in this hug, explore your breath, but also add a moment of self-compassion. So what is it that has been challenging? What does your body need a word of comfort about? And just 1 more breath. Can you let yourself just be? Let the hands go, let the knees a lot, let the eyes, and inhale, rise up. And what do you want? Straight with a back bend. Just make sure your knees are soft, tail bending out. And then exhale, hands, come back to your center. We'll find our mountain pose again. So take the time that you'd like. I want you to really center out your knees, your toes, your hips. Soften the knees, lengthen head to tail, and open the front body. And here in this moment, place your hands wherever it's helpful. And I simply want you to notice what feels different now than it did when you walked in. And just place some awareness on how your practice actually impacts and changes you. So one more deep breath, just grateful that you brought yourself here and how it's already molding you. And then bring that intention back to your mind if you have one. When you're ready to inhale, you can rise it up, eyes open. And exhale, dive. See if you can bring more length now that you're warm. Knees bend, heart open. Hands to shins or under the toes, and inhale, flat back. And can you make it feel good? Feel that expanse. And then exhale, let it go. Knees bend, step your right leg back this time. We're going to come up into a warrior two. So I want you to spin your heel down until it touches the mat. Turn your toes towards you and inhale, rise up. Windmill your arms. Yeah. And then reposition. So take the time you need until you feel like your left knee can line up with the left toes. Yep, your heels either farther out or right underneath your knee. You look great. And even the back knee has that principle. Your back knee and toes are going in the same direction. And if you think about it, you rise that up even into the hips, and they're doing the same thing. So it's just nice to come into that. And then bring into what you felt earlier with the head and tail. Can you feel that here? Can you just draw those points farther? That will use more of your core, which supports your posture and just supports all of your joints and balance. Gaze down your left arm and really see your strength for a moment. So just want you to thank your body for being here, for doing this. And then feel the stability of having your right hand behind you. It's almost centering you, balancing you, holding you here in your center. And then notice what you need. Does your body right now want less? You can always be a little straighter. Is it okay with this though? Does it want deeper? And then knowing what your body wants, we're going to come to extended warrior if you want. So I want you to be mindful that your knee doesn't go over your ankle. You just keep your thigh. Yeah. And then reach the torso forward to the left. And then your elbow can start on the thigh and right arm reaches over. And then again, you can lengthen head to tail. So that's going to draw your ribs in. If you want more, then your left arm goes towards the mat or down to the mat. And roll your shoulders back. And then notice your core. Does your body want more today? You use more of your arms instead of leaning on, or more of your abs instead of leaning on your arms. And then can you lengthen something? It could be small, like your toes, your neck, soften your face. And just 2 more breaths. Can you celebrate the strength and the challenge? Reaching energy out of your right hand. Yes, great job. So keep the legs exactly as they are. Sun warrior, inhale, windmill arms up and back. So your back arm rests, and then your top arm leans. Now soften this back knee. So we always want to have a soft knee that really does protect our joints and bones. Yeah. Tailbone out of the body, and this gentle arc. And in your mind, you can think about your right side here and just see if you can add a little space. That's going to be a lot of abs to like lift you out of it, but it's a good thought to strengthen. And then what could you relax? It could be your face, your cheeks, your jaw, your chest. And just take one more breath. And then mindfully feel your hands and your heel. And inhale, we windmill them up. So the back heel lifts and then down. Bend your knees back, step to downward dog or child's pose. And kind of pedal the feet out again, if that feels good. I want you to notice how your body feels different side to side, that your practice is already impacting you. And then soft knees, relax your heart, and take 2 cleansing breaths. Where do you want to breathe renewal? And then what does your body want in this moment? We're going to come to plank if your body wants. So inhale forward to plank as an option. Shoulders connect, heart opens. Exhale, slowly lower halfway or all the way. And then inhale, open your heart. And maybe pause and try that lengthen one more breath if you like. And then exhale back. Soft knees, relaxed heart. Take 2 more breaths. Grateful. And then I want you to simply ask the question of what your body wants on this side. And then when you're ready, inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, step your right leg forward. And we start in low lunge. So we treat this moment as its own, because each moment of life or practice, it matters. So use your hand to move your heel forward until it gets under your knee. It doesn't have to be speedy. And then take a deep breath. And then when you're ready, we start with grounding ourselves. So ground your back heel, turn your toes toward yourself, and warrior 2. Inhale, lift arm up and open. And exhale, take some time, reposition until you feel grounded in your feet. And see if you can line up knees with your toes, shoulders back, heart wide. Try to lengthen head to tail again. And then gaze over your right arm. See, own, and celebrate your strength for a moment. And then in your mind, just feel your left arm. Feel how it's steady and securing you right here in the center. And then I want you to scan a bit, and is there anywhere that you could add space? So if your tailbone feels tight, could you kind of let it go, drop it down, use your abs? Or if it's your collarbones, could you use your shoulders to open up? So just find something new. And then what do you need? Is your body asking for less or more at this point? And if you want to go for it, we'll extend. So inhale, you can reach the torso forward, and then exhale, elbow could start on your thigh if that feels okay. And then you could kind of seek out deeper if your body is asking for it. How are your toes? Could you lengthen them? How about your side waist? So to get a little bit longer, you simply think about taking your right hip down towards your left heel. And then lengthen your right side. I know it's a lot, you got it. So now take 2 more breaths, and can you celebrate the strength, the challenge that you're here? Keep your knee where it is, and we'll inhale, windmill up and open, sun warrior. So we go back, gently rest the left arm and right arm will side bend, yeah. So now your knee, just either bend it, or it could be a little bit straighter if your leg is tired. And then be gracious to your body. Can you really lift and open your ribs just to feel that celebration rise? Can you relax the shoulders, lengthen the neck? Take 2 more breaths, just powerfully opening your body here. And then when you're ready, arms and back heel. We inhale, windmill them up, bring them to the mat. Bend your knees, step together, and let yourself fold. So this time, really bend your knees and just let your belly rest against them. And the more you round your low back, the more you might get a different stretch between the vertebrae there. And when you let your chest really lay on your thighs, it becomes a little more restorative, everything. You can feel the power of your own touch. One more deep breath. And then gently lift the eyes, bend the knees, just let your blood flow kind of start, and then inhale, rise it up. And exhale, hands, go back down. You're gonna roll it out. Let your ankles, your feet, your hands feel good. All right, you did great. So we're gonna balance next. So I simply want you to take a breath, give yourself grace. Balance is not easy. Whatever happens, you're just gonna celebrate. And we'll practice that. So you can open your eyes and find somewhere to gaze at that will ground you, so something solid. And then shift your body to your right foot and spread your weight across your toes and the sides of your heels. So you just kind of grip the mat, held yourself up. And then your left knee will bend, and you can kickstand it across your body. So we're going to come to eagle legs and bend your knees and sit in. So now notice the right knee again, try to line it up with your toes. And if you want to go for a little more, you lift your left toes off the mat. You can always hold the wall too, you want to stand in the room. Or tuck your toes behind your leg if you want to try a little pretzel here. And then gently relax in. Can you lengthen the head to tail again? So feel how your core can help you here. And then your arms, you can spread them wide. And we're gonna take the right arm under the left in front. Bend your elbows, your hands will go up, and either the back of your hands can meet, or you could kind of twist until your palms almost touch. And start with a big hug where your elbows embrace you downward, and you'll feel how there's a stretch around your upper back. Keep lengthening head to tail. And then lift the elbows upwards, and see how that's a new stretch. And this is not easy. Your thigh might be shaking, your body might be balancing back and forth. So can you right now breathe some celebration towards your body, thanking your body for doing this. Challenge is what brings change. So each and every rock of your ankle teaches your body to balance. So one more grateful breath, you've got it. And then exhale and let it go. So come back down and take the foot that was grounded, your right foot, and give it some circles. And then especially in summer, if you take your toes back, down on the mat and kind of rock it back and forth, that's a good stretch if you ever wear flip-flops. It kind of just stretches out the top foot. And then gently come back. And just a cleansing breath. You can inhale, reach it up. And then exhale, bring it down. And this time, bend your knees and just slowly roll up. Stack your spine. So give yourself a spine stretch where each vertebrae just kind of opens, stacks. And then you can roll the shoulders back. So hopefully we can let that side go, let this side surprise us, let it be brand new. So take a deep breath again. Whatever happens, we'll just be present with our body, thankful. So eye gaze open and ground yourself with your eyes. Shift your weight to your left foot. You can kind of rock around till you feel like you can ground all 5 toes, the inside of the foot and the outside to lift your arch. And then gently bend the right knee. Both knees bend as you cross and kickstand. And then if it feels good, you could lift your knee or lift your toes, or even wrap on behind the other leg. It might not happen side to side. Our bodies are unique. And then arms, when you're ready, you'll reach them out. Left arm will go under. And then elbows bend up. And hands either touch the backs or the fronts. And then to explore, you see how much you want to sink in. So you can bend your knees more. It might be a little more challenging in terms of strength. And I want you to see if you can separate head and tail again. So use your core, really helps for your spine. Draw your elbows in towards your chest. And take a few breaths where you're so grateful for this body, or else you're just comforting and loving yourself in the challenge. Learn to befriend yourself whenever life is challenging. So take just another breath, feeling the squeeze of your arms. And now elbows, lift them up. Maybe you just want to physically focus on opening the shoulders and enjoying that. Or maybe you need to breathe through something that's really hard. So just take 2 more breaths. You've got this. If you want more, you bend the knees, the hips. If you want less, you might stand a little straighter. When you've had enough, inhale, reach it open. We're going to do another cleansing breath. Exhale, dive it down. So this time, flow a little more. Hands to shins, under the toes. Inhale, flat back. Grateful, opening. And then exhale, stay in a forward fold. Let yourself go down. Bend your knees. And take 2 comforting breaths. So I want you to bend your knees a lot. And then step your right leg back and put your knee on the ground. So we're intentionally in the kneeling lunge. And then move your left heel forward until it's underneath this knee. So a good cue is like you'll be able to see your whole front foot if you're curious if you're there. Now we're going to stretch the back of the left leg. So take your toes up, hips back, and I just want you to wiggle a little bit at first to feel where your stretch is. Then you can flex your foot and line it up with the middle of your knee. And see if your hips can even line up. Because sometimes they'll kick out to your right side because it makes it feel a little easier. So if you do want to split, you just extend your heel forward, toes back. Be gracious towards your body. The goal is to get that stretch. And then can you scan? Is anything tight? But maybe it's your face or your chest. So you can just relax. And then subtly, I want you to just kind of turn your hips towards your left leg. So flex your foot, a little very gentle turn of your hips towards your left leg. It is so subtle. But what I want you to feel is the IT band is now going to start stretching. Yeah, good, great. And the alignment still, it works here, so kind of line up the knees and toes. Yeah. And take some deep breaths. This is one of those, it's just like medicine. It might not feel good.
Your guys' faces really.
Yeah, it's not easy.
This hammy is.
It's tough. So take one more deep breath. And then gently bring your knees back and flow through child's pose. So I want you to sit back, round your back, and let your head rest. Take 2 or 3 breaths, and you can play with your hands. Maybe palms down, palms up, or sweep the hands back. Take one more deep breath, and I simply want you to breathe as much as you can into your belly to stretch your low back. And then we'll gently rise up. Come to all fours, and that'll help you switch which leg is in front. So just guide your right foot forward, use your hand until you come into a kneeling lunge. So you are opening up the left hip a little bit here to start. Yeah. And then get to a place where you feel comfortable, and then knee in line with toes, and using your hands, you'll guide your hips back and toes up. And then breathe. You can add that little rock at first, because that'll show you if your inner thigh's tight or your outer thigh, which we're going to do in a second. And then come to a steady space and just breathe. If you want to go for that deeper split, you can push your body apart. And then everything is connected. So see if you can scan down. And if a very small muscle is tight, could you soften it? Just let that help you soften down into your hamstrings, your calves, your knees. See if you can relax your face. Just another breath. Soft knees, and ever so subtly, you'll just turn your hips towards your right. So it's almost like you took your left hip towards your right foot. Shoulders back, heart open, soft knees, and line up the toes with your knees, and just breathe. And can you thank your body for doing this, for trusting that this is going to loosen what's tight? And sometimes that challenge is what gets us towards health. So one more deep breath, you've got it. And then gently this time, I want you to bend your knees, separate them into a wide child. So that's where you put your knees almost as wide as your mat or more, and then sit your hips back. So just opens the inside of your hips more. Hands out, relax your head, and breathe this time into your hips. And you'll notice your belly has more room since you widened your knees. So just let yourself breathe. Take 2 more breaths and use this moment to scan your body and just notice where you're holding tension. And if you can, breathe it out. And if not, practice allowing yourself to be as you are. And when you're ready, use your hands and gently walk it up. You'll guide your knees together, and we're going to come to sit. So you could just cross your ankles and sit back, but you can come there however you want. It doesn't have to be that way. So start in stack pose where we have both legs forward, and then use your hands to walk your sit bones back. And then flex your feet and let them go, and that'll just straighten out your calves a little bit. So if you feel like your pelvis is kind of rolling under, bend your knees so you can sit a little more forward, so the legs don't have to be straight. All right, so like a wave, let's stretch. Inhale, reach it up. Gain some length, and then take it forward. You can flex your feet again, and then let yourself go. So tuck your chin, and with each exhale, see if your body weight can melt a little heavier. So continue to practice how to let go. If your neck is holding on, could you soften it? take about 2 more breaths. Just exploring how deeply you can let go. And when you're ready, you'll gently walk it up. And this time, take your feet together, knees out. And then hands back just to start. So if you take your hands back and kind of push your low back forward and lift your heart, you'll notice that that starts the stretch in your hips. Yeah, that's good. And you can tuck your chin a little bit because that'll help lengthen the back of the neck. And just allow this to feel good. So take one more breath. What are you opening in your own heart? And letting it all come forward. We're going to tuck our chin and gently roll it forward. So belly goes back now, hands come in front, and just round your spine. And so anytime we move our spine, we kind of move it as a whole. So you can imagine your head to your tail now in this gentle arc. So just breathe through that, seeing if you can soften deep. Take 1 or 2 more deep breaths. And then gently walk it up. Very nice and slow. We're going to take our feet in front. Make sure you have enough room to lay back. So we're going to come to boat, and then if you want, lay on back. Or if you'd like, you can just lay back right now. You don't have to do that. Alright, so we're going to take our feet in line with our knees. Imagine that's in line with your hips. Open your heart, and we do start with the tailbone just for knowing our spine. So notice how you're sitting tall, which you look great. Take a nice deep breath in. And then if you want, you can hold on to your thighs to start. We're just going to tuck the tail now. And again, just like I said, it's your whole spine kind of tucks. And come down about halfway. So wherever you feel like your abs are at a good place where this is a challenge. And then you could use your arms if you want. Then you could try to lift one leg, or maybe both. Or you can go back and forth if you just want one. And then if you want a little bit more, so if you're a boat, you can feel yourself floating. You look awesome, good job. You could go a little bit deeper. And we're just gonna hold for 2 breaths, wherever you pick at this moment, yes. And celebrate, open something. It doesn't have to be tense. And then gently let it go. You did great. So reach your arms overhead, point your toes, and just like you woke up, stretch your belly. Let your rib cage open and pop up. And just breathe. And then coming to a recline tree, all I want you to do is bend one knee and put your palm of your foot against your inner thigh. So that's going to open your hips. You keep reaching away or bend your elbows and hug them. Either way, that's going to help stretch into the hips. And now let yourself loosen and fall. And with each out breath, practice melting your muscles. And notice how you can let go of tension. It just takes practice and awareness. Take a few more breaths here into your hips. Switch whichever leg is straight and whichever one is bent. And then maybe go to reposition your hands, go to try something new. And then breathe again down into your hips. So this little lift of our rib cage, you can tell it kind of gets right there into the hips as we let our knee open. One more breath in the side. And then both knees bend, put your feet palms together, so just like you would when you're sitting. And take a few more breaths, now opening the hips a little more deeply. And you can play with that body scan. Do you notice a small muscle, maybe your cheeks, your jaw, that you could let go of? One more breath. Gently close your knees like a book, let them turn to one side. You can kind of cuddle them up. And then I want you to turn your eyes and your arms to the other side. So you're just twisting. So the top hand can just kind of rest on your heart or your shoulder. And then with each breath, just take your belly button in and hug it. Again, you can move your hands around if you don't love where they are. Take about 2 more breaths. Really focus on the exhale, that squeeze. It'll massage your inner organs. And then gently use your core, so draw your belly in and let your knees come all the way over to the other side. Kind of cuddle them up close. And then your eyes and arms to the opposite. And then see if you can relax your upper hand, your knees. And focus on your exhale. Squeeze out all of your breath. One more breath. Really focus on the exhale. Follow it to its end. And as you're ready, you can guide your knees back to center. Just a couple more poses. So inhale, reach everything up into the sky for joyful child's pose. So your hips lift up, your head lifts up. If you want, you can connect. So you can hold your toes or your shins, and then reach into a rounded spine. So it's going to open your back. And then as you exhale, lay your head down, lay your hips down, and just stay here. So you can slide your thumbs right underneath your tailbone, and that'll hold your legs in place without your abs having to work hard. So we're in legs like a wall. And then take a deep breath, and can you exhale, let your body weight sink back. Soften your knees, your face. And I want you to just feel your belly move. Not needing to change your breath, simply just watching yourself be breathed. So this pose, it helps with a lot. It nourishes and helps our circulation, our joints in the lower half of the body. It helps with insomnia, emotional balance, and much more. So just take a few moments, just allow yourself to receive the gift. And then take your hands out underneath of your tail, put them down on your belly. And bring your knees together, so let them kiss, and then take your feet to the mat. So your knees are just going to rock together, and you'll notice that protects your low back. Now slide one hand up so that you feel underneath the left side of your chest. And slide the other hand down underneath the belly button. And take a breath to move your lower hand. And I simply want you to feel how your body and its natural breath, you were created to be cared for. So without your effort, your body has been breathing your whole life. And like a miracle, when you breathe to your fullest, your body gets a natural, instant calming. So just move that lower hand with a couple more breaths. And let the upper hand just feel your warmth, your heartbeat maybe, and how your body itself has been caring for and sustaining you from the inside out. And now getting ready for full relaxation. If you want something warm, you can get it. And you can stay here, or you could change your legs. Maybe you want to go long with your feet out to full shavasana, or maybe you want your hands somewhere else. But find what will feel comforting and supportive of your work in this moment. And then take a deep breath, and as you exhale, feel your body weight sink into the mat. Allow yourself to melt. And then using our awareness to train our minds and bodies how to relax and stay calm. We're going to start with sounds. So I want you to notice every sound that you can hear. And just let them kind of pass by as if they're floating clouds through your awareness. So you're practicing not allowing sounds to work you up. You get to choose how to respond. One more sound. See if you can find something new, and then practice letting it go. And then take another deep exhale where you feel the back body and you melt into your mat. And then we'll start with sensations next. So what all can you sense? How many textures are there against your skin, your clothing, your hair, temperatures, the breeze? How about tastes or smells with a little shade of light and dark around your eyelids? And as soon as you're aware of something, can you just let it pass by as if you turned it into a cloud and let it fade? And then come back to your breath. Feel this next exhale. Allow yourself to melt. And then we'll come a little more deeply inside. So I want you to feel now into your forehead. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, relax the muscles in the forehead all the way through the eyes, the cheeks, the jaw. Another deep breath in. And as you exhale, let your head sink back and feel your neck melt and soften in freedom. Another deep breath in and just feel your shoulders. And as you exhale, let them sink back and open your upper heart. And then inhale, feel your arms and hands. And as you exhale, let them sink and soften and melt. And then breathe and feel your upper torso, your chest, your upper back. And as you exhale, let your shoulder blades ground and your whole heart spread. And then breathe and feel your belly and your back. And as you exhale, I want you to soften and give freedom to your whole mid-body. And then breathe and feel your hips and your glutes. And as you exhale, let your glutes really sink so your hips can spread and feel free. And then breathe in all the way down your legs, your feet, your toes. And as you exhale, let them sink and spread and feel free. Bring your mind into your breath now. Every single breath is brand new. So watch the inhale. Notice when it changes and watch your exhale. And then that change again. So over and over, as soon as a thought or a feeling arises or a sound catches your attention, I want you to gently practice letting it go. And then bring your awareness back to your breath in whatever moment that it's in. Notice where your mind went, or if there's any moment or area in your body that you want to soften again. And then direct your mind back to your breath for just another moment, giving yourself permission to create a calmer sense of awareness in your life. Without moving your body, simply want you to be aware of it. How do you feel in this moment? Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And if there's anything that you notice your practice cultivated that you want to hold on to this growth, bring it to your mind. And simply hold it there for a few seconds of gratitude, soaking in the change. And then ever so gently, we'll wake up our bodies physically. So you can start to move your fingers and toes. And I also want you to be aware of a miracle, that a mere thought, a synapse in your mind started to move your muscles and your joints. So just celebrating how wonderfully you're made. Then you can rotate your wrists and ankles, grateful for all they do for our life to support us. And then what would feel good next? So listen to your body's wisdom. Maybe it's a hug of the knees, or a sway, or a windshield wiper, or reaching in some way. So let your body guide you. Then roll to one side when you're ready and allow yourself to stay there. You can even cradle your head in your arm. But in this new position, I simply want you to carry with that sense that you're allowed to rest. So I want you to feel the ground and how it's holding you up and that you can sink. I want you to notice that your body is moving slightly with breath and that you're cared for and that you can rest. Your body will keep you healthy. Keep listening to it. And lastly, I simply want you to notice the air in the room and how it gently continues to go into your body and then back out. So the very air around you supports your life. So take one more moment just feeling so loved and supported, the ground, the air, your body, everything on your side. And then in that trust, you can take your hand and when you're ready, press down to sit up nice and tall. And so finishing all together. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, namaste.